Andrew says I'm late. Can everybody see me? Is this working? Okay, because already somehow I owe Bert money. I don't, I'm not even sure how that happened. I'm not even sure how I got to 1,000 subs. I have no idea. And I'm late, and I can't believe that you guys are, this is just, I'm totally like blown away and floored. Christopher, sorry I can't stay as I mean it right. Christopher, thanks so much, my friend. You are such a gentleman and a scholar. And Heidi, I want to hear more about the Blvd because I don't know that book. And Brian, thank you, my friend. You are going to be here. We're all going to be at your ceremony, sending you congrats in no time, man. You have this wired so crazy fast. I can't even believe it. Britton, my brother, thank you, man. Ryan, thank you. Your book is on my stack for next month. Andrew, yeah, okay. I'm doing this, guys, and I hope you guys are going to join me. This is to all of you, and I broke out my bottle of the good stuff. This is the good stuff. Some fine Irish, and to all of you, my new friends that I feel incredibly lucky to just have been able to meet you, and for you guys to turn out like this and congratulate me, it means the world to me. Slancha, I am so touched. Oh, that's good. Ems, thank you so much. Kay, how are you? Hello. Thank you the best voice on BookTube. I could just, someone said the other day, I just watch you read the phone book, and I'm so with you. All right, Britton, Dr. Pepper works. Dr. Pepper works, straight from Waco, Texas. Andrew, thank you forever. I will be so indebted to you. You are the first person that put me, like you put out a community post saying, hey, this guy's channel is good, check it out. And it's like I was walking on air for like the next 3 days because I couldn't even believe you knew I existed. I had been watching your video, and it was amazing. And Jacob will tell you what we're using to stream, because this is all. You want to come over here, Jacob? Sure. This is, okay, you guys, this is like a Bigfoot sighting. This is a Jacob sighting. He does all the tech. He makes everything possible. What software do we use to stream? Do you use to stream?
We're just using OBS. If you just the letters OBS, that's all we use.
Yeah, that was an executive decision I made. I told him use OBS. That's what you want to do.
He doesn't know what it means.
Yeah. This channel sucks. Thank you so much, Charlie. Thank you. It's 11 a.m. Wow. Okay, Bert. Yeah, I don't remember saying surprise, my friend. Thank you, Kay. I feel like I owe you money, though. Someday, Bert, we will meet up, and I will buy you the most wonderful top shelf drink that you can imagine. Kay, you come on now. You could work professionally. That voice is crazy. It's got such a sweet, beautiful lilt to it, and at the same time, it's got that 1930s vamp that, like, you know, you kind of you drank a bunch of scotch and smoked a pack of Pall Malls. It's amazing. You have the most amazing voice. Jacob is the mastermind. This is just like, I'm just the talking face hole. That's all. He won't let me touch anything. Someday I'm going to actually like turn a camera going this way and take a picture of the studio that he did in the spare room here. Like, it's amazing. He is truly, well, I'll take credit because we paid for his education that made him this amazing. OBS confuses me. One of the classic series, if it's Fantasy 101, it would be on the syllable. Starts with Pawn of Prophecy. Okay, look what okay. This is exactly why I have this, because this is one of the reasons why I love you guys and this community so much, and why you have made my life so full and so amazing. I was hitting the same authors, and I was getting so burnt out and so tired of them. And you guys have brought so much amazing story and content to my life. Just I can't tell you how you guys have enriched me. Heidi, all of you, especially Heidi, you give me some of the best recommendations. And I think it was you that gave me recommendation on content. I didn't know what to do when I finished the trilogy of the Warlord Chronicles. And I think, Heidi, if I remember correctly, there's so many people I comment with, but I think that was you, and you gave me the best idea, and that is happening. I am making notes now. Congrats, Talking Story and Son. Yes, he does all the work.
That's not true.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Midnight Chronicler is so cool. That's such a cool vibe over on that channel. If anyone hadn't checked that out, absolutely. He is really got a kind of neat little vibe. His channel is so awesome. More Pooh the Pug. There's an H on it, Heidi. It's Pooh, like Pooh Bear. No, it's not a South Park thing. It's an A.A. Milne thing. It's like a Pooh Bear. And yeah, he got crazy. I think he could probably put me out of a job. We said we should get a little perch here for him because he would absolutely run the show. Paul Malzer. Yeah, but I'm really old, Andrew. What'd you hit me up the other day? I talked about laser discs and you were busting my chops, and you're so right. I've been around for a long, long time. I remember laser discs. I remember them well. I remember the Laserdisc player I had. It was a top loader. That's how far back I go. And it was the height of technology. It was like this big, and it sat on top of my console TV, and it was a top loader, like a close and play. 1930s attire, very nice. BookTube is the best tube, absolutely. Kay, let me know when you do that so I can watch that day. I'm staying out of that. Rarest trigger, well, I have 4 dogs, but I have Pooh Bear, and then we have Sestra the bear dog, and then we got Poppet, she's a pop fox, and then we have Fay Ray, who is just, I'm not quite sure what she's got a beautiful mind. We have to deal with her a special way, but she's absolutely worth it. Beard, brother, I saw you today. I finally caught up with you and Andrew's interview, and I enjoyed it so much. The time just flies by when you interview people because it's just like a hang, man. It's so freaking cool. And as you say, I'm drinking the man stuff, the real man stuff. So slaunch it to all of my new friends, and I couldn't be more happy to have you in my life. Yes, Corey, I have a shelf. It's not even a TBR. It's not in a stack. I had to take over part of my shelves for the massive amount of books and I can't stop buying. I think it was Bryce at Shelf Centered. It was like we should start a support group. I can't stop, man. I absolutely can't stop. But I tell you, as far as addictions go, this is probably the best one to have. I think Panasonic. Yes, Panasonic made mine. No, it was Pioneer. Mine was a Pioneer. Yes, absolutely. Nope, Sony was. Yes, Sony I think did too, but I don't think I could afford that. Mine was a Pioneer. Mini disc players. Yes, I do remember mini disc players. Yes. Is that the special edition revival? Yes. Where is it?
On your right.
On my, yes. Yeah, this is revival from, this was the first book that Blvd Press put out. And it is very nice edition. It was soon after this, let me find some of the art. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. Soon after this, they struck the deal with McCammon. Now all of McCammon stuff comes from Blvd, so they do really cool stuff. So I love this. It's one of my favorite Kings because I have such a soft spot for cosmic horror, and he just kind of nailed that with this. So yeah. So I had to have that. Betamax. I remember Betamax. I don't know why we're going down this memory lane. But it's awesome though. A Victrola? Wow. You're beating me out. Caden, thank you. Thank you to you and your lovely wife, who I've been talking with for surprises down the road on the channel. Bert, that doesn't mean I'm buying you books. It's just surprises down the road on the channel. You guys are the best. I really have enjoyed meeting you so much. Quasar, VHS circa 1980. The 80s were my absolute heyday. We could start talking about all the concerts I saw in the 80s because I was, thank you, Andrew. It is really pretty. They do great stuff. And they're regular hardcover stuff, like for the Matthew Corbett series and the Robert McCammon stuff. It's not crazy price. It's really like, 30, 35, like regular kind of hardcover book prices. They do really, really nice stuff. So when are you doing a bookshelf tour of all your beautiful editions? You know what? I think the first weekly reader, I had a big stack and I showed some of my favorite books that I'd had signed and editions and stuff like that. I enjoy this edition for one reason, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen the absolute editions, but this is right here, so I'm going to pull this down. This is signed by now I can't find it. Oh, there it is. This is signed not by Alan Moore or Gibbons, but this is signed by Jackie Earle Haley, who played Rorschach in the movie. And doing theater, he was running a production company in San Antonio when I was living there, building a theater company. And he came to the theater one night. We got to know each other and got to be friends. And when I started when I co-owned or opened a comic book store, he did a signing for me kind of soon after he had played Rorschach. And he just absolutely nailed that character. I mean, what an amazing performance. And he signed this for me. So that's kind of one of my faves, just because my friend and buddy that played Rorschach signed that for me. But yeah, I'll do that someday. I could do I could do that again. We could do like a shelf tour. This is just a few. I grabbed a few things. This is a really cool shelf, but not a lot can fit on it. So there's a lot that's still like in my wife's office where the bookshelves are. What are your top 5 McCammon books? Okay, this Swan Song, Boy's Life, Blue World, which is a really good collection of short stories, Speaks the Nightbird, and Mine, probably the thriller Mine. And I'm probably missing something, but that's just off the top of my head. Those are all really, really good. He's, some of his earlier stuff, like Wolf's Hour is a lot of fun. Usher's Passing is a lot of fun. They Thirst is fun. Like when he was in his early horror heydays, and he was doing it's really fun, pulpy candy bar reads. But he became something truly special, I think, around the time that Boy's Life came out, Mine came out, Swan Song came out. He kind of really ratcheted it up. And then he wanted to move into historical fiction with the Matthew Corbett stuff, and no one would touch him. No publishers would touch him. He had to go with a very small publisher in his home state of Alabama, I think, to get that out. Would you prefer to have a copy of each book in a trilogy, an omnibus, or both? Wow, that's tough. Not both. I don't like to buy books more than one time, and I'm about to have to break that rule for Philip Chase because he had the first book of his trilogy for 99 cents for a day or something. And it's like, oh my God, how can I not buy that? And I just liked it so much. I'm going to have to get a copy for my shelf. But I don't generally like buying books more than one time. I would say each book in a trilogy would be my absolute pick because it's easier to hold. I'm getting to be like an old guy, and when I lie in bed and read, if it's some one of those huge omnibuses, my thumbs can get tired. Maybe that's why I'm not playing as many video games either. I'll play for an hour or so, and it's like, wow, my thumbs hurt. Did you like the HBO Watchmen? I did. I thought it was very interesting. I thought they They kind of stayed with some of the themes of the original, and I thought they had a great tone to it. I thought it was a great arc. I thought it had some great characters, and I do remember catching every episode as it came out week to week, being pretty excited to catch it. I think that was one of, was that Abrams, right? No, not Abrams. Lindelof. I think that was one of Lindelof, and I think Lindelof. I was a big fan of Lost until it seemed like they didn't know where they were going with it. But this, I think he had a true plan for a beginning, middle, and end, and I thought he told a really cohesive, engaging story, and I really did enjoy that. I did have my gripes with the Watchmen movie, but the casting was, dude, I mean, Jackie for Rorschach was so good. And I mean, I'm incredibly biased because, I know the dude, but also Patrick for Night Owl, Patrick Wilson for Night Owl. Thank you, Jacob, old man brain. And I can't think of a clinker in that cast. They were just so perfect. And he was such a fan of the source material. I mean, he did capture frame by frame for some shots that, I mean, it was, for a comic geek like me, it was pretty cool. But yes, my biggest gripe, Britain, is they changed the ending. And I remember Jackie telling me before I went to the theater, hey, man, we changed the ending. There's not going to be the splat on New York City that we know and love. So a Richard Lehman guy, and I back to Jack, and I was like, oh, what are you gonna do? And I could see why they changed it, but I was still not crazy happy. You know what? I've never read Richard Lehman. Here, Nick, you're making the list, my brother. Richard Lehman. Hit me up with a title I should start. What title should I start with him? Because I love horror. I've never read Richard Lehman. What really got me in your channel was Mabry, and I've loved him for years now. You know what? I absolutely, truly enjoy Jonathan Mabry. He's one of those people that his books are so well plotted. He has such a plot that it nails the accelerator to the floor for the whole read. And wow, he does not let up. And he has such a great background with being a journalist. So all of his research is amazing. Like the stuff that he throws out there, there could be a zombie apocalypse. That could work. Like it's crazy. It's crazy involved. And then he has a shared universe, which I'm such a sucker for. And not everyone knows that. This month, I am picking up, Corey, have you read The Kagan the Damned yet? Which is his epic sword and sorcery trilogy that he's doing. I think it's got a novella between book 1 and 2 as well. I'm picking that up at the end of this month, like probably right after Thanksgiving for me. So I can't wait to get there. I've been so excited to get there, and I'm finally caught up with everything else to get there. And I think the dude is so much fun. So he's got that journalist background. So his research is great. And then he was a bouncer at a strip club for a good number of years. So when he throws in violence in a fight scene, like he's straight up like a multi-level black belt. Like he knows how to throw hands, man. He absolutely knows how to throw hands. So it's so cool to read his fight scenes and stuff. Yeah, Brian, I have to buy those books again. And I'm talking with Dr. Chase tomorrow night, and the interview will be up Thursday. Our regular time for videos Thursday will be my interview with Dr. Chase, and I'm so excited to talk to him because it nailed some of the things I love, like how important story is to us as a people and a species, and how it defines us and inspires us and shapes our very reality that we live in. And I just thought there was so many ways that he nailed that in such an amazing way with that first book. I can't wait to get back to the trilogy, and I can't wait to talk to him about the first book. And there's no way that's not going to live on my shelf. So I curse him, and I curse his talents for making me buy a book 2 times when that's a hard and fast rule for me. I try to never do that. And I'm horrible at that rule. As you get older and you go through life, you guys tell me if this is the same for you. You get older and you go through life and you think like, I don't need these things anymore. I'm just going to do ebooks or, whatever idea you have at the moment. And then you just thin out so much of your stuff, and then you end up buying all those books again. I have done that, I don't know, so many times, and it drives me insane. So it's a hard and fast rule for me, but I broke it many a time, and I'm going to break it for Dr. Chase. Have I ever taken a stab at writing a novel? I'm not a writer. I just like to drink like one. There was a time in my life that I thought, when I got to this point of my advanced age, I would be in a cabin somewhere cranking out my books, and I would live a writer's life, and that's what I would do. And then I found out how hard it is to write a book. And it's so true. The hardest thing is to find the chair. To find the chair. And my artist journey revolved around the theater and acting and directing. And you have to find the chair because there's a whole bunch of people waiting down at the theater for you. And if you don't show up, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I can do collaborative work like that because people are waiting on me, and I have to be somewhere and I have to go somewhere. But actually, to have the discipline to find, if I could figure out a way to write a novel in a communal setting, that I might take a shot at. So Nick, I'm writing these down. Quake, steak, traveling vampire show. Gotcha, buddy. I'm gonna put those on my list as soon as we go. I love your first interview. You're passionate about the details, make it such an enjoyable time. Thank you, Ryan. That's awesome, man. After I read your book, maybe we can, if our schedules line up, we'll get you on here. For chat, I interned for the channel over the summer. The production is professional level, but Pooh runs the whole operation. Let me tell you, that's not just the channel. Pooh runs. I've never met a dog that can fill a room with a personality. And my wife and I have been married for coming on 26 years now. We were together for some years before that. And we've had dogs, at least 2 to 4, always. There's never been a time when we haven't had that many dogs. And with the exception of Kong, and by that name you can tell how large a dog, he had a personality to fit himself. Pooh is he's fatter than he should be, but his personality is just off the chart crazy. He runs the whole house. Man, Matt, dude, let me tell you something. I love your channel. I love your channel so much because you are the most authentic dude, and the love that you have for Philip's trilogy really moved me to pick him up, and I can't thank you enough for that. I would love to have the broken binding editions, but wow, I'm sure they're going to be just, even if the cost is not bad, by the time you tack that shipping on. Matt on Books will be hosting a Lord of the Rings discussion, which makes me so happy. Of course, I love the nerd of the rings, but now we can all experience a deep dive on BookTube too with Critical Dragon and Dr. Fantasy. Those two, and I didn't know about Critical Dragon until I saw him on Tori's channel. First of all, just like Kay, I could just sit down by a campfire and listen to that dude's voice talk about anything. Like, I absolutely love the brogue. And oh, man, the goods. Like, he'll make you question yourself of whether you should have a channel. Like, I listen to him and I'm like, what? I'm some doofus. What could I possibly... I mean, I wanted to get my voice out there and have a peer group to talk books with again and go back to some of my happiest memories when I had that. And then I listened to Dr. Chase and AP, and it's like, maybe they got this covered. That's why I'm shocked why I've been able to meet such great people. Pooh is a tyrant. Yes, Jacob. Jacob says he's our worst dog. He's not our worst dog.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not our worst dog. Vanya was a lot of work too. Vanya was our fat beagle.
I like that.
Donald Ray Pollock started writing at 50. It's never too late. I'm telling you, Britton, if I could find out a way to write a book that was a collaborative art form, I'd be all in. I think I'd be your man. All I got to do is figure that out. But it's so solitary. It takes so much discipline. I could always find something else to do, like, go eat a hot dog or something. What's your favorite horror not written by Stephen King? Oh, that's okay. I got to go with a McCammon, and I probably have to say, I probably have to say Swan Song. It's post-apocalyptic, but I'd put it in the horror category. Other great ones, like I really love F. Paul Wilson's Adversary Cycle. The first one is called The Keep. If you wanted to try some horror, that's such a great gateway drug because the Adversary Cycle has 6 books in it. The first one is The Keep. The second one is The Tomb. And The Tomb is book 1 of the Repairman Jack series, which I think there's like 15, 18 books, something like that. So you've got 6 adversarial and 18 over here. And they're so much fun. They're cosmic horror and they're just a ton of fun. The Keep is, there's a group of Nazis that are trying to find some artifacts to make their army unbeatable. And they're in this old medieval keep trying to find what was buried in it. And they've got scholars along with them trying to uncover it. And what they find out is this was not a keep to keep the invaders away or repelled. It was a keep to keep what's locked inside the keep locked inside the keep. It was a prison, and them poking around allows it to get out and get into the world of man again, humanity again. And it's such a fun ride. What's your okay? Speaking of that, hoping to read Knockenstiff in January. What the heck is that? Give me a synopsis of that. Jacob, I flipped my pin.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I'm on screen. I can't stand up. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, let me know what that is. Donald Ray, speaking of that, okay. Where do you recommend starting with Jonathan Mauberry's book? The first book, well, there's 2 places. It kind of depends what you feel like. If you just want a fun trilogy, I believe the first one is called Ghost Road Blues, and it's a trilogy of books about the most haunted places, the most haunted town in America, and it's just a fun haunting trilogy. It's great. It's got a lot of different tropes packed in there from the horror genre, and he won the Stoker Award for Best Novel for book 1. If you want to start with his Joe Ledger stuff, I believe the first one is called Plague. Look up Joe Ledger. What's the first? Plague of something.
Plague of Shadows, isn't it?
No, it's not Shadows. Plague of... But it's such a... And the Joe Ledger series is kind of, think about like a techno thriller, like a Teal Seam 6.
King of Plagues.
King of Plagues is the first book in the Joe Ledger series. And this person gets brought into this like SEAL Team 6 group to take care of things. Pine Deep Trilogy. Yes, absolutely. That's it. And the Joe Ledger series, King of Plagues, he's brought into like this SEAL Team 6 group that takes care of things that, the normal military industrial complex can't take care of because it kind of goes bump in the night kind of things. And they go up against a zombie attack. And it's, wow, it's so well researched. It just moves. I mean, if you've ever read like military techno thriller type of stuff, like the Jack Ryan kind of feel, and I think there's like 15 or 18 books in that series as well. And the cool thing about him is that he dovetails from one series to another. Like this kind of person will show up over in this series, and now the epic fantasy thing he's writing is after the zombie apocalypse happens in this shared universe. 50,000 years after that, when civilization starts coming back, like in a sword and sorcery type of feel, is where his epic fantasy happens. So it's still in his shared universe. It's just 50,000 years after the fall from the zombie apocalypse. So it's cool stuff. So I would say King of Plagues if you want the Joe Ledger techno thriller military feel. If you want just like straight up kind of Stephen King horror that he did win the Bram Stoker Award for Best First Novel, would be the Pine Deep Trilogy. I'm here for you, brother. We can bring down the PhD levels. Let me tell you something. No one's ever going to say there's a P, an H, and a D next to my name. So absolutely. I played D&D a bit in college. I did when I was in college. I played some of that, even in high school. I didn't get crazy deep into it because I went to a very small school. And we had to do everything, or we couldn't field a team. So I was in the band. I was playing football. I was on in the theater. I was in. You have to do everything. So I didn't have a lot of free time. I was always doing something. What if Swan Song had no supernatural stuff? I would have loved that much better. That's the thing. He does characters in the same way that I kind of feel Stephen King does, and he brings a lot of himself to it. And if you've not read Speaks the Nightbird by him, I think that would be your jam, Heidi, because it's just, I believe it's 1880, 1890. It's very, very early America, South Carolina. And there's a traveling judge and his little legal helper that comes along with him, and they're coming to town to do a witch trial. And it's no supernatural, just historical fantasy. It's what he couldn't get published because he wanted to move to that kind of thing. And wow, the prose is stunning. He writes and he captures Patient Zero. That's it, King of Plagues. That's not the first book. That's not the first book. That's down the road a little bit. Patient Zero. That's it. Thank you guys, Corey and Nick. So he captures such a time and place. I call the prose style neo-Dickensian because it just will suck you in. It's so much Dickens. I tried The Expanse, M. Stern. I tried The Expanse, and I saw today on Daniel's channel that they're coming out with a new series in 2024, and I will probably try that because for some reason, I just didn't connect with it. And I love space opera. I just finished Empire of Silence. Generally, space opera and Dune is one of my top faves. I mean, usually always hits it out of the park for me, but for some reason, I just couldn't connect. Yeah, Patient Zero is book one. I can't believe I couldn't think of that. And it's such a great zombie. Oh my God, I don't want to get into it more than that. But if you read Patient Zero, you will believe a zombie apocalypse is possible. The research is just so good. It's so good. Hillbilly Noir Southern Gothic. Okay, I'm writing that down. Knocker and stiff. Hillbilly Noir. Yeah, you're speaking my language. I got to get into that. The Expanse series starts with my all-time favorite, Leviathan Wakes. I think I read the first, book and a half. And I think it might have just been where I was at the time. It just didn't connect with me. And I know I'm alone on that. So I know people love that series, and I wish I could join the party. Maybe I need to start that again. Maybe I need to pick that up again. Maybe I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I need to give it another chance. Kagan the Dam next year. I'm doing it into this month, and I can't wait. Brian Schlancha, my friend, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I know you're coming in late. I wanted to throw my voice out there. I wanted to make some peers and friends that love books the way I love books, love these genres the way I love these genres, have people to talk to, have people to look forward to talk to about what I was reading. And I never in a million years, guys, did I think I'm totally gobsmacked. I never thought like 1,000, like that's just like crazy. Like I thought if I could get a group of 15, 20 people I could talk to books about. And it's like, you guys know I answer comments like within seconds because I'm so excited to talk to you guys. It's been so long since I've had people to talk story with, and it's just amazing. So this is just out of this world. I'm still like, I can't even fathom. I'm bowled over. But thank you, Brian. Thank you so much. Yeah, Kay. Yeah, are you feeling me? Like I just and I feel like I should love this. This should be my jam, right? I should be totally into this. The first experience is pretty good. I feel like it comes into its own as an episodic space opera later on when you really got to know the crew. You know what? Interestingly enough, I watched every episode of that show. I have watched even when it moved over to Amazon Prime, I watched every episode and was just smitten with the show. I thought it was a great, well acted, high production value, great story. I'm convinced now, I love the show that much. What the hell was wrong with me about getting through the books? Like, I don't know. Blake Crouch. I've read one Blake Crouch, and I can't think of the name, but I have read one, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I have the first book in I think the City of Ash, and I think the next one is City of Blade or something. I have the first book of that trilogy, and I'm kind of waiting for all three to be out to start. And I'm starting to think I should have done the quartet, the Long Price Quartet, because I just hear amazing things about that. Okay, Long Price, and this has been on my mind. That I should have started there because all those books are out and I'm kind of waiting for this other trilogy to finish, and I just hear amazing things. Grufe, man. Slancha, thank you, my brother. You know, if any of you guys are joining me in a libation to celebrate, hit me up, let me know. Not that you have to. I thought the same. Was sure I was going to love it, and I struggled to finish it. Could have been timing for me too, but I had such a hard time with it. Yeah, I just can't put my finger on why, Kay, but and I love the show. I just didn't connect with it. And I think that's why I was waiting for that trilogy to be done, because I was thinking, I really want to give myself a chance with this writer. And then someone else told me what I probably wasn't connecting to was probably not Abraham. It was probably more the Ty Frank part of it. So I don't know. Love your enthusiasm and broad perspective on story. Thanks for throwing your voice in the book. Man, to you guys, I have been just blown away, snockered by how kind and amazing and accepting and open and fun and wonderful everybody is on BookTube. Brian, and you're one of the prime examples. Like, you guys make me feel great. I absolutely love my time with you guys. I have a theory, and let me know what you think of this. I think we spend so much time in worlds that we love, being inspired by heroes that we love, that we attempt to live up to that example of our heroes. So I think that is one of the reasons why this community is so absolutely amazing. I do watch Strange New Worlds. I watch Discover. I watch Picard. I pay for my Paramount Plus to watch every Star Trek show that comes out, because to a large extent, I'm here because of Star Trek. When I was not very young, I think elementary school, and I remember running home from school after school because every day they would run reruns when I got home from school of Star Trek, and that turned me into the geek I am today. You know, I remember I had to get home. I had to get to a TV because there were adventures to share in, and I had to be a part of it. So that was, I absolutely adore Star Trek. And I have not watched all of Next Gen. I have not watched all of Deep Space Nine. I think I've watched all the rest of them. And the reason being is I was in LA when those two series were out, and my nights were crazy packed busy with theater, so I missed a good chunk of those. What do you mean? I don't know. What do I mean? Hell on Wheels. Okay. Always looking for a good new show. Got it. Bosch. Or Boosh. that could be a Alan of Alexandria reference, because I dig every video is like, today we're going to talk about, today, guys, today, we're going to talk about Boosh. I dig it. Or if it's Bosch, if you meant Bosch, I think I've watched every series except this most recent. I haven't tuned in yet, but I will. I love that show. Is such a perfect way to right, Nick? I mean, I think that's where we're all at. I think I spend so much time in these worlds, and I spend so much time walking in the shoes, spending time in the shoes of these characters, or filling out these shoes of these characters, that I try to bring that to my real life, and I think all of us do, and I think that's why this community is so amazing, because we all live vicariously through those types of heroes. Same for me right now. I'm currently holding a sick baby and suffering a bit from the sickness myself. I don't think my body could handle anything stronger than herbal tea. Please feel better, Brian. I'm on my last season of Last Kingdom, and I have no idea how this show went under my radar for so long. Uhtred, son of Uhtred. I'm Uhtred, son of Uhtred, because my father was afflicted with no imagination. Back there, my father, he didn't know. That's why I have my name. I love that series. I haven't watched the last movie, but I've watched all the rest of it and absolutely dug it. Have you seen Succession? I have not. Succession. I should watch that. I love Performance, and I hear there's some great ones in it. Deadwood. I've seen all of that. That's good stuff. Matt, my man, hit me up with what camera you're using. Your live videos look so good. I got to bring in... Look, I'm a talking face hole. I do none of this, Matt. I do none of this. Matt?
I think I commented it.
Okay.
We use a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K Pro. That's not what I would recommend for YouTube. That's just what we have, so that's what we use. There's a newer camera called the Sony FX30 that actually has autofocus on it. This does not. I would do the Sony FX30. It's cheaper, looks just as good, and has autofocus.
Yeah. This is, he's an independent filmmaker as well. So I use a lot of his stuff. But to my son, whose first short film was just an official entry into the Raleigh Film and Arts Festival, the largest festival in North Carolina. His short film was an official entry. And we all went down to the film fest and walked the red carpet, and it was a great night with him and my B team son, who I think is watching this. Tyler, if you're watching this, type something. My B team son, my son's best friend since what grade? Second grade. They co-directed this, and this champ, boosh. So they co-directed this. They hired me as an actor because I'm all they could afford, and we all walked the red carpet. So that's why, some of the cameras and stuff we have is just stuff that he uses for his love of film and as an indie filmmaker. Have you watched Banshee or Warrior? Jonathan Troper is the best action writer. No, Banshee. Okay, man, you guys are filling my... Now, I watched Banshees of Inisherin, which is phenomenal. Have any of you seen that? Which is written and directed by... I'm writing, so I can't think of it. Banshee or Warrior. Martin McDonough. Wow, my favorite playwright, one of my favorite director and writers. Check out Banshees of Inisherin if you haven't watched that yet. Phenomenal. So don't forget the lighting. Yeah, it's all his light too. Dude, you're in Raleigh? I'm not in Raleigh. I'm in North Carolina. You went to Duke. Hey, awesome. Lots of fond memories of the Triangle. I am in the Piedmont. I am in a very small town, kind of outside Charlotte, but we did make the trip up to Raleigh for the film festival that my son was in. his film was in. Any Sons of Anarchy fans around? I have never done Sons of Anarchy. Since Matt is here, you need to get him back to try some Stephen King. Matt, I know you don't like Dark Tower. I know you don't like Dark Tower. Don't DNF the King. Let me tell you what you do. Let me tell you what you do, Matt. And I'm not going to lead you astray. I need you to pick up different seasons. I need you to read like Shawshank, The Body. I need you to read some of his character stuff. No supernatural stuff, just his character work. See what he can do. Just give that a... They're novellas. Different Season is a book of 4 novellas. Read one, give one novella a try. One novella a try. And I think we could turn you around on his strong suits of what he can do. I'm a Sons of Anarchy fan. Awesome for you, Ash. Christopher Rocchio lives near Raleigh. Oh my gosh, really? If you ever do an interview, you could probably do it in person. That would be awesome. I don't know what I would say to that dude. I just finished his book. His book 1, Empire of Silence, and it's like, that guy's on a different level. He wrote that when he was 18 or 19? Are you kidding me? I mean, wow. Shades of Christopher Marlowe and William Shakespeare and George Orwell and Rudyard Kipling and just every storyteller. Shades of Siddhartha's journey to transcendence as the Buddha. Like, there is so much philosophically going on in that space opera. I think I'd look like a doofus next to that guy. I don't know what to have to say to him, but I would love to sit down and, you know what? Maybe I'll reach out, and if he would come, you know what? If he likes fine Irish, and we could meet somewhere and pour a couple fingers and have a great talk, that would be amazing. I didn't know he was this close. The other author that's really close that I've never read and I'm about to get into really quickly is T. Kingfisher. I think she's near here, and I can't wait to look into her. I went karting in Charlotte and ate at Twin Peaks restaurant. Told my wife it was based on the show. Not quite. Duke Via from Mounds View. Duke, yeah, Duke is big, man. Yeah, I'm excited to see his career. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to go forward in this series. It's going to be an interesting review for me because I always say like a 5-star is something that I think that will stand the test of time and be around long after I've faded to dusty death. And I absolutely think this book will. I think if some professors haven't found this to teach in Eastern philosophy, maybe in other classes, they probably will find it, and it will probably have a long life after I'm long gone. But I don't know if my personal taste, I don't know if I liked it enough to give it a 5-star. I really got to think long and hard. I got to get my thoughts together. Yeah, it would be Killer Groove, man. I'm with you. Almost missed the live stream. Congratulations. My friend, thank you so much. Thank you for every comment you've given me, every recommendation you've given me. Thank you so much for being part of my life and this new friends group I have and making me so fulfilled and happy. And this has truly been just magic for my life, guys. What it's brought is just really being able to... I just finished the first book, We Are the Dead, in Mike Shackle's trilogy, and I reviewed it, and I thought there was a little plot hole that kept it from being a 5-star read for me. The dude, Mike Shackle, reached out on Twitter and told me, no, you confused 2 characters. First of all, I felt like a doofus, which I do a lot anyway. But second, just to be able to reach out and have contact with authors like that, unbelievable. Like living the dream, guys. Absolutely. Yes, T. Kingfisher. She's right from around here. Haven't seen Twin Peaks. I don't know if it ages well, Britain, but wow, when that was first coming out, I was in LA and we all had to be home at a certain time to get the episode of Twin. It was water cooler TV. You had to have seen it before the next day, or it would be all spoiled for you. I need to read more T. Kingfisher. Only the Hollow Place I really enjoyed it. I picked up What Makes the Dead Move because I know the sequel to that is coming out in 2024, and I hear it's a continuation of The House of Usher, and it's like that's all I needed to hear. So I can't wait. I can't wait to get into that. Okay, I'll give you the rate. Okay, that's to Britain. That's under. You'll say, "My family, man, I love to." That's what I hear. I can't wait to pick it. I'm gonna start with Lesser. What is it? Lesser Devil is next. I have that set aside. I think I might. I had that set aside for December, and I honestly think I might push that a little bit down the road because I'm Empire of Silence blew my hair back a little bit. I need to process that for a minute. So I might just have to. I will do Lesser Devil, but probably in January. I might just have to process that for a second because there was so much going on with. I cannot believe that kid's a prodigy. That dude has to be a prodigy. I mean, there's something. He ain't right. That boy ain't right. If he wrote that at 18 or 19. Like, there was a couple passages in that I would stop and read to my wife, who is a brilliant writer. One of my favorite writers is my wife. And I would have to read passages, and she would go, yeah, mark that down. That's I got to look at that later. He ain't right. He's the goods. There's a movie? What Makes the Dead? I didn't know there was a movie. Let me know if it's any good. That's right. Minnesota represent. Sure. Brian, absolutely. Yo, Jason, what's up, man? That's cool. I remember that game. Okay, regular. Honestly, with YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, etc., so many authors are so involved with their fans these days. It's really great. Like, what a time to be alive, man. All my life growing up, chasing story, and I started with this stuff. I started with books, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, from a very young age, and moving into theater, and then moving into comics, and then moving into video games, and I never imagined there would be a time when you could read something and then be able to talk to the creator like that without standing in. I mean, I've been to a ton of signings, but to be able to reach out and talk to a creator without standing in a line for a couple hours or something, like it's just this easy. Like, that's insane to me. It's just absolutely amazing to me. 10,000 Lakes up here, Minnesota. Isn't Amanda from Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she was born here but grew up there.
Yeah. Jacob's person. I don't know. Girlfriend, person. I don't know. I don't put labels. Jason's person. Amanda's from Minnesota. I think grew up there. Was from there. No rush. There's too much to read. Haha. The Lesser Devil is much lighter of a work and more action filled. I mean, that is the one thing I kind of feel like the pace for me in Empire of Silence was a little arduous for me. Now, philosophically, and the internal journey of Hadrian Marlowe, as fascinating as it is, I would find myself stopping and just setting it aside to think for a hot minute because, wow. So I don't know if it's a 5-star. Maybe Howling Dark will be. I really, that's one I really have to sit with a piece of paper and a pen and get my thoughts together. Man, you can't be selling me on a non-finished already 7-tome book series. Come on, Sonny. He's going to finish it. I think this coming year. Or no, he's got one more book. That dude's prolific though, man. Like, that guy is prolific. He's not one that I worry about getting his stuff out. I really don't. I'm just so stoked to find badass crews like this as I try to get my book out into the world for all its soul-sucking madness the internet has been. Absolutely. And I put on the list, man, I've got Sledge because I love what I was talking about before. F. Paul Wilson, Repairman Jack. I love that kind of pulpy last night errant against the darkness, against the world. It sounds like Sledge is that kind of feel for me. So I absolutely want to grab that for a read, and I'm going to give you my word. Lewis, it's a good time to start. Roku is already working on the final book. Yeah, this dude cranks him, man. I mean, he's Sandersonian or Sanderson-esque, who I call the human Storymatic 3000. Like, that guy's not real either. Like, wow. And that was one of the things, guys. Like, when coming, I had never heard of Brandon Sanderson until I got to BookTube. And holy crikey, that dude, I mean, he's trying to be Stan Lee. Like, he's trying to do like the whole universe. It's amazing. I'll give you the best TV show, Banshee. I got that one. Awesome. Colton, got it. It's a must watch. What's it about? Colton, have you watched Warrior yet? It's even better. I wrote both down. Banshee, and what is it about, and where can I find it? Netflix or where? You mean Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad, at this point, from what I have watched, Breaking Bad is on my Mount Rushmore. Absolutely. Breaking Bad will be on my Mount Rushmore because the spiraling character journey of that is absolutely Shakespearean, and I love Shakespeare, and the performance is transcendent. I mean, that's one of those things that I just watch and my jaw drops if I could ever be anywhere near or a part of anything like that. Criminal assuming the identity of sheriff of small town. Epic badassery ensues. I dig that. Empire of the Vampire I liked. I love horror so much. Empire of the Vampire was really into it. And I know it did have the framing narrative, and I know sometimes that'll take it out of it because, you're getting the character relationships aren't, it takes a bit of freshness out of them because the character telling a story is past it. And that did hit me a bit in Empire of Silence, but for some reason, Empire of the Vampire didn't suffer from that for me. I just dug it, man. It's like, I love genre blenders, and that was such a horror, epic fantasy genre blender that I don't know, man. It just hit me the right way. I really dug it. I'm sure as an actor you really appreciated Bryan. Dude, Bryan Cranston is like, if I ever met that dude, I'd have to shake his hand. That was really something special. Is that a TARDIS on the shelf? If so, looking forward to the new stuff. I've got, I don't know if you can see it. Not a TARDIS. Yes, absolutely. TARDIS. It is actually a TARDIS cookie jar that is on my shelf, and I cannot wait to see the new stuff because David Tennant is back doing it, and for me, he is my favorite Doctor, and I can't wait to see what he does. I will be there the second that comes out. I think he's brilliant. There's a PBS production of Hamlet that he does Hamlet, and wow, I really think it's the Hamlet for a generation. It was really phenomenal. Okay. I've kept up. My glasses have made me keep up. I love the concept of Day's death, but I found I'm almost zero affinity towards most of the secondary quests. I could see that. I absolutely take that point. Banshee is like the TV version of Tarantino's Grindhouse film, but it's an epic action crime thriller set in a small town. Man, okay, what's that on? Somebody show me what streaming service do I go to for that? I will put it on my list immediately. Tarantino Grindhouse stuff has one of my all-time faves, Kurt Russell, in it, so that is way up there for me. Kurt Russell, man, what a guy. Love that dude. I really want to watch Apple Plus's new Monster series for him. All right. Banshee is the Wolverine content I've been looking for. I hope he's right. Oh, that would be awesome. Guys, I think we're coming on the hour mark, correct? Yep. The new schedule for Doctor Who will apparently be a new season every year. What? At least with the stuff RTD will be doing. Russell T Davies, I love the way he would bring the end of the season all the way back around and connect and make it a whole and connect it. I hope he gets back to that. Oh my gosh, hello from India. Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much. HBO Max. Okay. Got it. Thank you so much. I got that because I have way too many streaming services. 1 a.m. here in Portugal. What? I'll check the vlog tomorrow. Have a good one and congrats. Luis, thank you so much from Portugal. Man, that is astounding. I was just going to say, guys, that's like an hour. Thank you so much for coming on. From Japan? What the hell? Are you kidding me? Silver Lining. Wow. From Japan? All right, Slunch, that's got a drink for me. Wow, that's amazing. Corey, what was that? I take small breaks with son and you're not alone. Yes, Heidi, I got to take a break, man. That was a lot. In the best of ways. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the most fun. I kind of set aside an hour to be with all of you and talk with all of you. And I can't binge read. It is not a binge read, man. You got to come to that in the right frame of mind, Corey, when you're kind of ready to be expanded, for your mind to be expanded. If the rest are like the first, I'm really interested to see if he keeps packing it with that much philosophy and interesting stuff. Britton, as always, thank you, man. Always fun to hang out. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for being such an important part of my life and bringing story back to my life. I had kind of lost it, and I was story was in my life, but I was getting story kind of from just sitting down and watching the news every day, thinking that I want to know what's really in the world and the story of the world that we're living in. And it's like, it was, guys, and I still try and keep up with what's going on in the world, but that amount that I was taking in was not making me a happy John. And you guys bringing story back to my life absolutely has meant the world to me. And I want to thank each and every one of you for doing that, and each and every one of you for joining me tonight. And, onward and upwards, guys, because I am having way too much fun to stop. Check me out Thursday. I'm going to be talking with Dr. Philip Chase. Are you kidding me? This dude has a PH and a D next to his name. I don't know why he would talk to me about his book, but he's gonna. And I'm going to hit him up with the Oprah questions and maybe make him cry, or the Barbara Walters questions and maybe make him cry. That's not true. I'm not going to do that. I don't know why I even said that. But I can't wait to talk to him. Thank you guys so much. Corey, Regula, Heidi. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing story back to my life. Thank you for bringing heroes back to my life that I can aspire to and be inspired by. And thank you so much. I will see you all Thursday.